Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Welcome to the 180th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. Every dietitian should have a blog. Now, I am a blogger. Most of you probably know this. This is what changed the game for me when I went from just being a side hustler doing webinars and freelance writing to starting my own blog business and all of the doors that have opened since starting my own blog in June of 2019. So the deeper I've gotten into the entrepreneurial world, the more I've learned about business, entrepreneurship, personal, professional development, the more I believe that every single dietitian and healthcare professional needs a blog. So let me break down a few things for you as I have this conversation. So I want to talk to you guys about what a blog is, why a blog, and then really how to get started. So those are the 3 biggies, right? So the first thing, what is a blog? Now, I will tell you, I tend to use the words blog and website simultaneously, and I understand that could be confusing. But know when I'm talking about a blog, I'm talking about your website. You can have a website without a blog. A website is, it has standalone pages, your home page, your about page, your contact page, your service page. The blog is a page on your website that has continual content that you put out, blog posts that you put up on a regular basis, whether or not it's weekly or monthly or whenever you get around to it. But this is new content that's constantly going up to your website. So a blog is part of your website, but I generally talk about a blog as the whole shebang. It is a website with a blog, which means posts, articles that you're putting out on a regular basis. So that's what a blog is. It essentially is a website with a blog section where you're putting out regular articles and content for your audience. So why a blog? Now, I've shared a lot on the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast about how we make money, and I like to oversimplify it because if we get into the weeds, we can get super confused. But to make money, we need 2 things. We need something to sell and someone to sell it to. You could have the best product in the whole world, but if you don't have an audience, no one's going to buy from you. Or you could have the biggest audience, a huge social media following, and you have nothing to sell to them, something that they actually want to exchange money for. You're not going to make money. So you need both of those things, something to sell and someone to sell it to. And this is where a blog comes in. A blog is an amazing way where, if done right, you can bring in lots and lots of people to your website, and you can create opportunities for people to buy from you. So why we need the blog is that it is simply a platform that allows you to build traffic and provide services, provide things to sell, so that way you could be making money. Here's the thing, you guys. A blog is online real estate. And I believe every dietitian should have online real estate. This is your online business. This is where your business lives online. So I like that when we think about, oh gosh, I'm babbling my words, guys. But I like thinking about ways to build wealth. I like thinking about passive income. And one of the ways that a lot of people do build wealth is by investing in real estate. Because by investing in real estate, if done right, they can generate recurring income, passive income, and really make money through it. But for a lot of people, to start in real estate, you need some capital up front. This is one of the beautiful things about the blog, is that if you don't have money up front, what about time? Do you have time to give? Because the overhead for starting a blog is very low. You can get a blog started for less than $100 for your first year, which is pretty darn crazy if you consider how much it costs to build a brick and mortar business and even investing in actual real estate, right? So I like to think of a blog as online real estate. It is your business. It is this platform that you own online and will enable you to make massive impact. So that kind of goes into another point that I have, is that a blog allows you to make limitless impact and income. There are billions of people in this world, and we are so lucky to be alive in this day and age that we don't have to open up a shop downtown and only impact the people in our local community. We can open up a shop online and impact people globally. There really is no limit to the number of people that you could reach online. And I keep saying if done right, because there's a right and a wrong way to do everything, right, guys? I think we know this. But if done right, you can make massive income. There really is no limit. The only limit is you. And what I mean by that is your knowledge, your mindset, how much you're willing to learn, how much you're willing to grow, how much you're willing to invest. But if you're willing to go all in, there are no limits online. And that's what makes me so excited, because we are so lucky to be alive in this time that we could literally be at home on our computers and make massive impact and help people. And isn't that why we got into the field? Because we wanted to help people. So having a blog, it's your online real estate. It is your online business. It is a place that you can help tons and tons of people. And it's a place where you can make money. Now, I have been listening to kind of like audiobooks. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this app called Headway. So I've never heard of Headway until I saw a Facebook ad, and I was like, tell me more. And essentially what this app does is it takes books and it summarizes it in 15 minutes. It's kind of like, if you guys remember Cliff Notes, if you don't want to read the whole book, you could buy the Cliff Notes and it gave you kind of like the highlights. And I love this idea and concept. And the whole idea of Headspace, it says get offline and, spend 15 minutes a day learning from all these different books. I went ahead and paid for 3 months. It was like, I don't know, like 16, 17 bucks. It was pretty darn cheap for 3 months. And I've been challenging myself to listen to one a day. And I'm not just listening, I am taking notes and I'm putting down action items. So I've been doing this for 6 days now, which is pretty crazy because I've consumed a lot of content in a short period of time. And what's nice about this app is it is audio. I listen to things at 2x speed. So I'm able to listen to a summary of a book in 7 minutes. Then I can go read it and then listen to it again. So it really sticks. But I also like to take notes, and not just have notes, but after each book, I'm taking action. Like, what is something I should do to, move the needle forward. So anyways, the very first book I actually listened to was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now this book is on my bookshelf, but I have not cracked it yet. But my son, who's 13, had just asked me, he's like, Mom, can I buy Rich Dad, Poor Dad on Audible? And I was like, yeah, you can. And so that made me think of, okay, that's the first book I'm going to listen to. And he said lots and lots of things in this book, or at least the people who summarized the book said lots and lots of things. But one thing really, really stood out to me, and I've got my notes in front of me, and hopefully I can find it. If not, maybe I'll pause the recording so I can find it, so you don't have to listen to me babble. Because now I'm questioning if I read it in this book. 2024, you guys, I have been like doing so many programs and jamming my brain full of information. Oh, I think I found it. Oh, okay. So it talked about how business and your profession are different things, and how it is nearly impossible to build wealth with just your profession. You need to build a business to build wealth. And this really got me thinking about our profession versus how we build wealth. A lot of us went to school to become dietitians thinking, once I become a dietitian, I'm going to make money. I'm going to, live all these dreams I have. But the reality is that most dietitians and other healthcare professionals, the income we make just isn't enough to live the way a lot of us want to live in this day and age. So I know for me, I shared a lot of the reason I started my side hustle is I just wanted to be able to pay an extra bill. I just wanted to have some breathing room. I thought when I graduated, I would be making money, life would be nice, I would save for retirement. I had this vision and plan with what my life was going to look like. But it was stressful, living paycheck to paycheck, not having anything really in the bank. And because again, you have kids and no one tells you how expensive they really, really are. When I had double daycare, luckily for me, it was only for a year, but it was more than my mortgage just to have daycare so I could work to pay for daycare. It's crazy, crazy system. But when we really understand that our profession is not designed to make us rich, our profession is designed to give us a job so we can get by, then we kind of understand things a little bit better. But to build wealth, really the only way to do that is through building a business, which is why I'm so passionate about dietitians starting a side hustle. If you're into it, you can become a full-time entrepreneur, but not everyone has to. You are able to build a successful side hustle that can make impact and income while you still work that 9 to 5, if that's your jam, because I know not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, like full-time. I get that. So again, coming back to this idea of your profession, it gives you a skill set, but it's not going to build wealth. You build wealth by starting a business. And this is why I believe that all dietitians should start a blog. Start your own online business. This is something that you can do as a side hustle. That's what I did. You can do it on your own time, low overhead. It's an ability to impact people in massive ways and build wealth. So let's talk about wealth. Wealth is not just about making money, being greedy, getting rich. That's just not how the game works. And honestly, people who are shady and really greedy, they don't build wealth long term. They end up losing it anyways if you build your business on shady practices. But what wealth gives you is it gives you freedom. It gives you financial freedom, so you're not so stressed about money all the time. It gives you time freedom, so you could spend your time doing things that you want to do. For some people, myself included, what that looked like, one of the first things, is I invested in paying for a house cleaner. Because quite frankly, I don't love cleaning. I know some of you love scrubbing counters, you love doing laundry. Not my jam, although I still do my laundry. My housekeeper doesn't do that. Maybe that's my next thing to do. But by paying a house cleaner, I was able to get back more time to either work in my business or spend more time with my kids. That gave me back time. So if you're someone who's working a full-time job and you're, starting a little side hustle, you're like, well, gosh, where am I going to get more time? That could look like paying someone to do things that you don't want to do or things that can give you back more time, whether or not it's someone to work on the yard or someone to do, even hiring someone to do meals. There's so many things that we could hire out that we don't typically think of. So I'm kind of getting in the weeds. I didn't mean to go on that tangent, but understanding that having wealth gives you freedom. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to do things you want to do. Someone who gets sick and they start a GoFundMe. You can donate generously and not worry about, am I going to be able to pay my bills? You can go on vacations with your family and do things you love to do. You could help people out in ways that you just can't when you are living paycheck to paycheck. So when I listened to the summary of Rich Dad Poor Dad in the Headway app, I was so inspired because it just made so much sense to me how our profession is not going to get us rich. Our profession, working the 9 to 5, is designed to help you get by. You can save money, retire when you're whatever age you want to retire, but it really isn't designed to build wealth. You need something else, and that is business. And online business is the best way to do it, in my opinion, because it is low overhead. Anyone can do it, and you have the ability to make massive impact and income online. My side hustle, I was making 6 figures in my side hustle before I left my full-time job. So you can go as small or as big as you want to. Okay, off my tangents, back to my points. I have notes in my phone. If you're watching this on YouTube, I did put some notes in my phone to make sure I didn't miss anything, and not a lot of notes. So I guess that's I hope this is making sense to you guys. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I truly believe that every dietitian should start a blog. A blog is essentially a website with the blog on it, which has, the way that the articles are how we build traffic. The blog is how we bring people to our website. The website is the platform that we provide value and that we also provide opportunities for people to give us money in exchange for the value that we have to offer. Why we need to do it: online real estate, passive income, limitless impact income, really the only way to build wealth. Let's talk about how. So I've offered lots of things over the years of doing this podcast and doing things through my primary program, which is Blogging Accelerator program. So I do have a webinar I periodically host called Blogging as a Business. It's a 1-hour webinar that really kind of walks you through high level how to do it. But I'm really, really excited because I am hosting a brand new event January 2024. So depending on when you're listening to this, I'm probably going to do another episode to kind of explain the challenge a little bit more, but I am doing a 3-day blog biz challenge, January 29th to 31st to the 31st of 2024. And so this is going to be a 3-day challenge designed to help you get started with your blog business. It's designed to help you build out all the things in your blog business. So I'm so excited for it. I will record another podcast episode, share all the deets. But if this is something you're interested in, I want you to go to katiedodd.com. katiedodd.com to sign up. Now, this is a paid challenge, but I've also made this my most affordable challenge ever. There are 2 types of tickets: general admission and VIP. General admission, you guys, it's $3, $1 a day. You're going to have access to the recordings, and you are going to be able to participate in the challenge. If you want to go VIP, it's only $30. That's like super cheap for VIP, but that's $10 a day. And what that will get you is access to the trainings, access to the replays if you can't attend live, access to Q&A calls that I'll be doing each day. And while supplies last, I have these super fun little 2024 calendar magnets on, planning out your big next year, 2024. So through this challenge, for those who are interested, those who want to hop on board and join me as I go through this at the end of January 2024, I'm going to walk you through the how to start your blog business, how to do all the things. So I definitely hope to see you there. I guess I'll kind of leave you with something a little bit more tangible if you're like, that's not my jam, Katie. But for $3, you guys, it is doable. So really the high level of how to start your blog business, you got to start with mindset. You got to start with why. A lot of people skip that step, but most people don't have success. So I'm always going to start with mindset. I'm always going to start with figuring out where you are, where you want to be, what is going to keep you stuck, and making a plan to not stay stuck. Or else this will just be another thing that you're like, oh, that's a good idea that never comes to fruition. So we start with mindset. We always start with mindset. Then you have to figure out your blog brand. Who are you going to help and how are you going to help them? You got to build the blog. You got to figure out how are you going to make money now? How are you going to make money later? You got to create the plan, and then you just have to follow through with the action steps to make it a reality. So that is like a super, very, very, very fast version of the how to start a blog. But again, I do offer resources, and I'm so excited about the Blog Biz Challenge that I will be doing at the end of January. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope that if you have a blog, you are inspired to really take it to the next level. If you don't have a blog, I hope you're inspired to start one. And whether you have a blog, don't have a blog, know what you'd want to do, have no idea what you'd want to do, I want to see you at the Blog Biz Challenge. So go to katiedodd.com and you can sign up for that. And you can also see all the other ways we could work together. There's a really cool online event coming up at the end of January as well. Not the very end, but kind of middle end, called the Dietitian Growth Summit. Sandy, she's a dietitian in Oregon. She's hosting this event. She runs the Dietitian Hub, which is a really cool website for CEU, Opportunities for Dietitians. And she is doing it's a conference, I think. She's waiting on official approval, but I believe it's going to be 9 CEUs. It's super affordable. Early bird, it's only $97. I think it might double after early bird, but that's still pretty darn amazing. And she's pulled together all of these amazing entrepreneurial dietitians to talk about things related to growth and mindset. And I'm one of the speakers. I'm an affiliate, and katiedodd.com does have my affiliate link for the Growth Summit as well. So check that out. Lots of cool things that are coming up now later on in the year. If you go to dietitiansidehustle.com, there's an events page, and I have been updating the events for the rest of the year. I've got several things already on there, so you can kind of see what's coming in 2024. So, okay, I'm babbling at this point. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you, and have the very best day. Bye, guys.